Today I am going to be talking about how to make your room feel more downtown girl without actually doing a full makeover transformation, going out and buying a bunch of new furniture and spending a ton of money. If you're like me and you're interested in multiple aesthetics and you can't really contain yourself to just one, then you're gonna appreciate this video because it's made for those people. So I made a whole video about 55 or 50 different downtown girl aesthetic decor ideas. This video is not going to be like that. This is going to be more about easy, cheap ways that you can make your room feel downtown girl without having to go all out and do a full makeover and buy new furniture. So if you don't know what the aesthetic is, downtown girl is an aesthetic that has been popularized through TikTok, and it revolves around the romanticization of living in New York City. So imagine you going out in New York, going to a bar, going to run errands. That's how you would dress. Those are the things that you would do. That's what we're trying to achieve here. When it comes to decorating your space like that, we're also going to try to make it look like you're in a small studio or a loft that's a little eclectic and has lots of things that you're interested in. So all of these ideas, these easy ideas I came up with, are based off of Pinterest photos and things that I've researched that do fit into this world. And I feel like if you had it in your room and someone walked in that knew the aesthetic, they would look at it and say, oh, that's downtown girl, right? So that's what we're going for. So the first item on this list, and it doesn't cost a lot, which is why I put it on the list in general, and it's just beautiful, is a salt lamp. Ta-da! You can actually get a salt lamp like this. I think these run around 30 bucks. But if you want to go an even cheaper route, you can get them from like the 99-cent store sometimes. I got a bunch from there at one point in my life. And they're the ones that hold the tea light candles. So it's a big rock and you just put a tea light in it. Obviously, it's not going to be as bright as this, but it still gives the same vibe and it's much cheaper. Plus the lighting from these salt lamps, I truly just live by it. I love the way it looks so much. And this is my first time ever owning a salt lamp and I am just obsessed. I'm just obsessed. I want like a huge one. Next is by getting a wine bottle and putting candlesticks in it and putting those in different spots in your bedroom. If you can't drink wine, that's fine. You could even get a Welch's grape juice bottle. Do you know what I'm talking about? The ones that look like this, and you could just dump it out or drink it. I would recommend drinking it because it's really good. It's just sparkling grape juice, and put a candle in it. And by the time the candle has melted down, there's like wax all over the bottle. It looks really cool. Make sure you place these in an area that's not going to catch on fire because I think it could probably be a pretty dangerous item to display, but they look so aesthetic, guys. I love the way it looks. I love the way it looks. I'm sure you could find recycled wine bottles as well if you wanted to go dumpster diving. I probably shouldn't recommend this on this channel. The next one is fake vines. I mean, again, it's just so achievable, so attainable. It's very inexpensive. You can get a pack of 12 on Amazon, I think for $14. I'll list everything below that I'm talking about, by the way. And it just transforms any space. It's easy to store away if you travel a lot, and you can display it in so many different ways. You can tape it to your wall. You can just let it hang over your headboard, over your window, just put it on your dresser. There's just so many things that you can do with it, and it fits the aesthetic so well, and it also fits other aesthetics. So if you change your mind in the future, it's not like you won't reuse it. Also, just a note, fake vines don't attract spiders or insects because people seem to get really worried when they see me do a room makeover with a bunch of vines. Arachnids and insects are not attracted to plastic. That is why fake plants are commonly used indoors, because they do not attract bugs. So if you're worried about that and you're scared, don't worry about it. It's not a thing. The next one is by making a DIY collage. This can consist of so many different things. It can consist of photos that you've taken, that you printed. It can consist of book pages, something from a magazine, something that inspires you. It can also consist of, dried flowers. Honestly, anything that you like, just put it on your wall, tape it on your wall in a very eclectic organized way, and it just fits the aesthetic so well. You can also put the vines that I mentioned surrounding the collage, which makes it look even more eclectic, and it also looks really cool. And with the DIY collage, you can also do records. I know you can get records from the thrift store. They run relatively cheap. I mean, they might not be something you know, but you can definitely get them. And along with getting the records, you can display the cases of the records. It can be a part of the collage. It can be a different section of your room if you would like. But this is, again, another telltale sign that someone is into the downtown girl aesthetic. And I'm just gonna call it DTG from this point forward, because saying downtown girl too many times is just, it's gonna be a lot. So I'm gonna stop doing that. The next one is to get fairy lights. Fairy lights, again, very inexpensive. You can get the battery operated ones from a place like the Dollar General store, 99-cent store, but again, battery operated. I personally would go with a little higher priced item, which runs around, I think they're $14 or $17 for the LEDs that I have that I got from Amazon. They have multiple different settings and they plug into the wall. So you get a different vibe all the time. They have, you know, flashing settings. They have, I don't know what the settings are. There's a lot. But there's also multiple colors as well. And you can display it in so many different ways around your room. It also gives off amazing light. It's not like it's not going to get used. They look beautiful and it's DTG. That sounded weird. The next one is displaying your instruments if you play, or if you don't play an instrument, but someone in your house does. You can ask if you can display it in your room just to give off, you know, the vibe of this aesthetic, because that's what you want. And you want to display it in a way that it surrounds everything else you're interested in. You know, maybe put a salt lamp next to it, along with a pile of books and some vines. Like if you're going to have an ode to a certain aesthetic within your space and you're not going to do your whole room, maybe dedicate an area to it, you know? So that area really just screams that aesthetic. Next one is by getting band posters. I don't really know if you can thrift these, but I know you can print them and you can buy bundle packs on Amazon, Etsy for very cheap, very inexpensive. They're reusable and they look super cool. All you have to do is tape them up. They're not damaging to your walls. It just changes the whole vibe of your room. But if you can find a band poster in a magazine, I mean, you can use that too. Maybe cut out, like, rip off a Rolling Stones cover. That would even do. The next one is by displaying books. If you don't read, I guess you won't be displaying books, but if you do read, display them. And again, I say this all the time, keep your colors cohesive and hide away the colors that just kind of stick out like a sore thumb in your room, and flip it to just the book pages side of the book, so that way it just looks more cohesive with your room. That's all I can say. I mean, it has nothing to do with disliking a book, anything like that. People get so bent out of shape about this when I do it in my videos, but it just looks nicer. It just looks nicer. And the last thing on this list is just by adding real plants to your space. It's so simple, right? I mean, you can get real plants from Lowe's, Home Depot. You can even go out and pick some plants. And also something I would recommend is by cutting the stems and do like a hydroponic garden and put them in a bottle with some water. It's just so pretty. It's so aesthetic. It's so DTG. Yeah, it's super easy and it looks super cool. I don't know what else to say. Very easy things that you can do, very attainable, cheap. I've said this so many times throughout this video, but I hope you get it. You can do it. I believe in you. If you want your room I'm done. Okay, well, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Again, I'm gonna link everything below that I just talked about. Hope you guys got some ideas from this video, and I'll see you in the next one.